Story often doesn't repeat itself, but it sure does rhyme. I can trust these people. They went through so much things. They won't give up now. Like, there's no way they will give up now.
What is SPX 6900 to you?
The answer evolves over time. Because it began as just a financial vessel to try and escape the system. Then it became a source of inspiration to practice my creativity. Then it became a community of like-minded people to meet. And now it's become a passion and a goal of mine to pursue. It has changed every single aspect of my life. I'm not sure there is a word that describes an object, an idea that changes your entire outlook on life.
Hey everyone, this is Southern Fried Chat again. I'm here with STPC, one of our best video editors, creates tons of cool edits. Most recently, he is working on a cool SPX documentary to open up the Amsterdam conference. How's it going?
I'm very well. Thank you so much. How are you?
Doing good. Yeah. I'm glad to have you on. You really popped up on my radar relatively recently for some reason. I don't know why I wasn't super aware, but the edits have been really, really good as of late, and I'm glad you're here. And also the stuff you're going to do for the Amsterdam conference sounds amazing.
It's a lot of work. It's really putting a lot of pressure on myself, but it's going to be really cool. And yeah, I appeared in SPX pretty late, actually, even though I bought SPX very early.
Gotcha. That must be why.
I was kind of stalking everyone, and I just joined, so I knew a lot of people. I had my edits done, and I kind of speed run like the whole integration process.
So so that's give me some background into what got you into SPX to begin with.
Into SPX specifically.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
I had been learning crypto for a while. I got into crypto pretty early, actually, but I was very young, so I had no money to buy crypto, but I was interested in it. And at one point, I understood that I had to create an X account to get some more macroeconomic information, but I hate social media. So, I took some time to do that. And I think like a bunch of people, at one point I followed Murad and I saw the list. I saw the Token 2049 speech, and that's more or less where I joined because I saw the very first video that the dev released with Mary Rose, and I thought the aesthetic were amazing. I loved the message. I loved the Asian, Chinese vibe to it because I used to be a very big anime guy. So it really resonated with me really early, and I bought my first tokens in September to October 2024.
Nice.
I think.
Nice. Yeah, how involved were you in crypto prior to that? Were you heavily involved, or?
I was buying majors, like with summertime money from like the summer jobs that I was working. But in terms of researching, I was studying other fields and trying to make it as a fitness influencer on the side.
Nice.
So I never really put all the time I had into crypto. It was more like a background thing, like DCA Bitcoin over time, because I was a Bitcoin believer. And yeah, from September 2024 onward, I discovered like the ecosystem of meme coins and everything, and it just hooked me right in. Like, it was so amazing to discover. And from there onwards, it was just full in love with crypto.
Dude, yeah, I relatively similar. I was definitely a big Bitcoin guy, and but I also got into Solana as well, which I think is what led me to meme coins. Once you discover meme coins, it's like so much fun. It's so entertaining. It's cool. It also, I feel like being a Bitcoin guy, you understand that the utility narrative, at least I did, the utility narrative is kind of BS. It's just a marketing scheme. So you realize, okay, that's not really a thing. But meme coins are pure belief, essentially. I gravitated towards that because of my Bitcoin belief, which I understood is essentially pure belief as well. So, yeah, I don't know if you had a similar experience with that to build transition from Bitcoin into meme coins, or what hooked you into them, I guess.
Well, it's pretty similar to you. I was never at all into the tech thingy. I was always like, that's bullshit because Bitcoin is actually relatively simple. So if I cannot understand the protocol that you're trying to sell me, it's probably shit, right?
Yeah.
It's usually like that in real life. Um, if you cannot explain it in a simple way, you're probably shit at it. So I never got into it, but very early I had a thesis for memecoin because I bought Dogecoin. So that's my very first trade in crypto in 2020. Yep.
Nice.
I bought like $20 of Dogecoin because as a proper Zoomer, I found Doge very funny, you know. And I had the pump of 2021 on Dogecoin. So like my $20 turned into maybe 800, I think at the time.
Sweet.
So I was like, holy shit, like that's a different level of of investing. But I never found that again until SPX because I wasn't into crypto enough. I wasn't on Next. So I missed Pepe and I missed everything. But
sure,
I already had a good thesis for meme coins where I was like, yeah, that's just like it's like Bitcoin. If we all believe it has value and we love it and we form a community, obviously it's going to go up.
Yep. Yeah, it makes sense. Doge was the first crypto I ever bought as well, and I bought it as a joke. I think I did not. I missed the pump entirely, pretty much. I was a laggard for sure, and but then I discovered Bitcoin in a big way. That's what led me into Bitcoin, actually. And beginning of 2022, I like super hardcore about it, and just kept buying it all the way down, and then I got into Solana a bit as well. But yeah, it's crazy how the where I find it kind of wild that we have some people. Excuse me. We have some people in the community that are like this is their first coin ever. Like that's crazy to me.
That's so amazing, actually, because it's very wholesome, and they'll never be traumatized from the dangers of crypto.
Yeah, exactly. So that's how you bought it. What led you to wanting to like post about it and take it up a level?
That's a very good question. So when I discovered SPX, I also discovered meme coins. And well, I kind of fell into the promise of meme coin gambling. So I dabbled a little bit into meme coin gambling, and every time I lost money.
Sure.
I didn't have a lot of money, and there was one coin in which I bought, which I will not mention, but it's rugged, and I became a CTO member for that. And they asked for video editors to try and push the coin. I was like, fuck, I lost money. I'd like to break even, so I'll just make a few videos. So that's where I started making videos for cryptocurrencies.
Sure.
And in the back of my head, I was always like, I'd like to make a video about SPX because I loved the original vid that I saw. But because my ex was very macroeconomically centered, I had no access to SPX, like city side. The only person I was following, I think, was Tanz for his insights. So I never saw any kind of video content. And it's in February, I think, that I decided to try and go towards SPX as an editor. And there's one person that pushed me to do it. It's Frothless. Maybe you've seen him on the timeline.
Yep.
We really got into contact, and he's a big SPX believer. And he's the one that kind of pushed me like, your edits are very good. You should do one for SPX. You would kill it.
Nice.
So I just did. And from there onwards, I was addicted. I was like, why did I not do that sooner? I was like, fuck, if in September I just was full into SPX, I would have done so much more. That's my biggest regret, I think, not getting in sooner and not getting in with the community.
Yeah, I mean, and I was pretty involved in SPX from the get-go, pretty much. Like, I was making memes and posting about it, but I was dabbling in a lot of different things at the time. But I would say I stepped it up to where I am now, like in April is when I really stepped it up. I guess during the TikTok thing when that first happened. So that it really inspired me to start making videos and stuff. So and then it just led to the podcast and so on. But yeah, it is a process. I mean, some people immediately they're like, okay, I get it, and I just want to like fully invest in it and understand it. But I mean, for a lot of people, it takes time to build up that level of conviction, I think.
I think I had the conviction in terms of holding the coin because I love the mission. So I had no access to the CT side of SPX and what everyone was saying, but just the flip the stock market mission, I was like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Like, I had a lot of conviction, but I just wasn't in the discussions on X. I was just outside of it. And once I started, when I tried to follow a few people, it just went so fast. I connected with so many people. I was like, okay, that's what they were talking about. Like, that's SPX. That's the Cognisphere. Okay. Like, there's like 60 people following me in one shot because I tweeted about SPX. Wow, that's crazy.
Right. Yeah. I think that's a good distinction. I as well had the conviction to hold because I believed in it, and I could see people were very passionate about it. But when you go to that next level and you're like in the thick of it and you're in the community for real, at least for me, but my conviction stepped up too. So like the longer I've been doing it, the more my conviction grows, I guess is what I was trying to communicate. But yeah, when you hop into the Cognisphere, it does hook you, I will say.
It's amazing. The amount of love that you get from everyone, from strangers, is unseen. I've never seen that in my very short 26 years of life. And that's the most amazing part of it. It's the amount of love you get from strangers and how you just connect with people that are like-minded to you. That's something that you will find nowhere else.
Yeah. No, for real. It's insane. Do you know Doug? He's not really an SPX guy, but he's like a crypto kind of general macro dude. Doug Funnies, I think. Have you seen his picture?
I think I think it reminds me of something.
Okay, we rated him several times, and then one time he's like, "All right, I'm gonna buy some XPX. I'm gonna get some. I think it's at a good point or whatever." And that was when everybody thought we were about to hit that parabola at the end of last year, and then that didn't happen. But he happened to buy some. Later on he mentioned somebody was talking about. Is SPX actually a cult? And he responded and said, it absolutely is because I've never felt such love in my life when I bull posted SPX. So I thought that was great. He's like a 20K. He's a relatively big, like macro X account, but he recognized it. I doubt he held because he's a macro guy or whatever, but
yeah.
He did recognize that it was extremely passionate people, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's nice. Even people that don't hold SPX can tell you that the holders are crazy and very supportive of the project and one another, which is nice. That's the image we want.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, and when things come back, people are going to recognize that. So it's a top, it's like top of mind when you're thinking about meme coins and I think that's a trader's mindset. My mindset is definitely different than that. It's like I believe in this coin wholeheartedly. I will never sell it. So it's a little different but I think even a trader will be like, okay, we're back. Let me buy a meme coin. SPX makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like that's going to be their mindset. Yeah. Because it's obviously the craziest one. So, what is SPX 6900 to you?
So the answer evolves over time because it began as just a financial vessel to try and escape the system when I first bought it. Then it became a source of inspiration to practice my creativity. Then it became a community of like-minded people to meet. And now it's become a passion and a goal of mine to pursue. So SPX is a lot of things to me. because we first of all have a very tight French community in SPX.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I've met a ton of amazing people that I'm soon going to meet IRL. I've met a lot of cool people online. I've had a ton of opportunities. So I can't really define what SPX is to me, but I can tell you that it has changed every single aspect of my life. So if there is a definition for that, I think it is, but I'm not sure there is a word that describes an object, an idea that changes your entire outlook on life.
Dude, that's amazing. Yeah, and you are right. The French Aeons are very tight. Y'all have like the craziest on the Earth map. Y'all are like y'all are everywhere. It's
it's very very insane.
No, I love the French Aeons. You and you got Mike, and you've got T-Dog, and you got DePonzi. That's the names that are coming to mind right away, but lots of others, and yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, the clique that's mainly organizing the Amsterdam event are the three you mentioned, and also Moss, that you've probably seen on the timeline.
Yeah,
he's very articulate and usually makes 1.5 minute videos about topics around it.
Yes. I know what you're talking about now. Yep. Yeah. I am so excited to see what y'all pull off in Amsterdam. Like the vision is quite large and very ambitious, which I think is cool. And I think y'all will pull it off, and it'll be really, really cool. How excited are you for that?
I'm very, very excited, but also stressed. It's like we're all amateurs, and we're gonna organize a possibly 200-person event.
Yeah, that's nuts.
That's insane, actually. And I'm also making a documentary for it that's gonna be 20 minutes long. We're also going to need to stream the event. We're going to need to onboard people. And also, I'll be there at the event as a filmmaker,
nice.
More or less. So I'll have my cameras to film the whole event. So there's a lot to do. So I'm very excited, but it's kind of... it's tough because I'm stressed about it as well. It's both of them.
Well, and I talked to Dubbing... I did a podcast with him last week, actually, and I know he's a fairly large part, and he's going to be there and all that, and very supportive, especially financially. We were just talking. I was like, "Hey, y'all are very ambitious, but even if everything goes to hell for some reason, which is not going to, but even if it did, it's going to be an amazing event. You're gathering together tons of people." In the name of SPX and meeting all those different people. It's going to be amazing regardless of what happens, if you know what I mean. So my point with that is don't put so much pressure on yourself. Like it'll be good. And, it's being there and being supportive of the event is kind of enough in my opinion. I know you're doing way more than that, but that is, that is, we only got 25 people to Miami, which we thought was great. So if you're actually able to get 100+ people to Amsterdam, which I hope you all are, that
we will.
That's incredible.
Let me tell you, we will.
So, what I'm saying is like, just doing that alone is incredible. This is all I'm trying to get up.
Thank you, but I understand it. I'm not stressed that the event is going to be bad.
Yeah.
I just want to bring a level of quality that shows what SPX is capable of.
Understood. Well, I'm trying to say is I'm not going to judge you because we stream PlayStation graphics at our event, so there's going to be no judgment here.
But you tested the waters. That's the thing. Like, we know what went wrong, so we gotta do better. That's my point of view.
That's fair.
That's fair. So much as a first conference that now we gotta take that, build upon it, so that the future can be even better for SPX.
Yeah, agreed. And the one I'm doing in South Carolina is definitely, it's not going to be 100+ people. I think right now we have I think it'll be between 35 to 40 is what is what it seems to be shaping up. So relatively pretty bigger than Miami, which is cool.
It's pretty big, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty big. And it's going to be a bit definitely smaller, not as ambitious as the Amsterdam one, but it is bigger than the one in Miami. So, and we're doing it in my hometown, Spartanburg, Greenville, South Carolina area, which is not like a well-known area. So I think that alone is pretty cool. But one thing I've determined is the European Aeons are built a little bit different, apparently, because the ambition and the fact you've already, like, I think you have like 100 plus committed to coming. It's just amazing. So yeah, kudos to y'all, and I hope it blows anything out of the water that's been done so far.
It's probably going to, yes. But like you said, though, like, the thing is, Amsterdam is such a central point in Europe. It's so easy to get to.
Yeah.
Like, there are trains, there are planes. It's very easy to get to. But South Carolina, that you're able to get 35 to 40 people, it's equally as huge, because, like, the US is so large. It's
right.
like bigger than Europe itself. So if you can get that much people in one city in a state, it's also huge. Like,
yeah,
it's actually,
and we don't have that infrastructure like y'all do. So that's really that does make it harder. Plus, I think there's more passion. So some people, this is a topic I've discussed on Into the Cognosphere a bit. We have 200,000 plus wallets that own SPX. Mm-hmm. So some people say 200,000 people. I've heard that many times. It's definitely not 200,000 people, because that's just wallet numbers.
Yeah.
So, if you think about it, maybe there's 50,000 people who actually own it. And then maybe of the 50,000, like, how many people are hardcore, passionate SPX holders? I would think there's only like maybe 4,000 or 5,000 would be my guess. I think there's more passionate. Maybe there's more holders in America. I don't know. But I think there's more passionate holders in Europe than there are in America. I think that. And I think the map proves that too. I don't know what you feel about that.
I'm not sure I can give you an answer, because I'm not exactly sure who is from where. But
I'm going by that Earth map, and I'm like, if you're on the Earth map, you're clearly a passionate person, and Europe is it's wild.
But what I can say, and I would agree with you, the loudest people are probably from Europe. I'm thinking of Seb, for example.
Oh, yep.
He's the loudest.
It's incredible. He's the loudest. Yeah. Or even Ruben, for instance. Yep. I'm thinking, like, people like them, they're from Europe.
Audacious Investor wrote the book. I mean, so.
Yep.
And he's from UK as well. Yeah.
There may be there are more thinkers in America, I would say, probably because of the ability to write in English as well, and more outgoing / loud people in Europe, I think, is what I'm seeing.
Which is kind of funny, because that's kind of inverted from what I think a lot of people would think. I think a lot of people...
Completely.
You know what I mean? You think it's typically the opposite on those things, but it's kind of funny. But yeah, no, Europe is impressive for sure. We definitely have some loud ones. 1% Aeon's loud. Nick is loud. Unk is loud. We've got some for sure. We've got Monj, we've got Cal. I mean, I'm very, and Jeffrey and Krishna and the people on Into the Cognosphere Slow. I'm very proud. I'm not trying to say I'm not proud of the American Aeons. I think Europe's built a little different, at least at this point, it seems. But I think it's good we have a friendly competition. We need to, I hope we can, I know we have Chang in Korea. We need to build up, I feel like Asia is a little underrepresented. I hope that builds up better. But Europe and America seems to be the two hottest. That's definitely the hottest parts of the globe at this point. But I had this thought after Miami. I was like, man, we need to do a conference next year in every single continent. That'd be amazing, except like Antarctica, of course. But you know what I mean.
Yeah,
not counting Antarctica. Maybe we don't do one there. That wouldn't make much sense. But yeah,
that would be so amazing. Actually, that would be so amazing.
Maybe we do then. Maybe that would be amazing. I don't know. That would be cool. Australia, there's a good representation in Australia too. I will say quite a few. Jordan and very hoodish. They started their video live stream recently, which is really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. I saw the first episode.
Yeah,
Really
they have a very good perspective. I liked it a lot. I'm actually going to be on it this coming week, so I'm looking forward to that.
Nice.
That's
cool.
Yeah, Jordan asked me to. It's like, heck yeah, man. Because it's 5 p.m. my time, which is kind of cool. Like Australian time and American time lines up fairly well because like it's in the morning and it's like later afternoon for us, so it kind of can work for them, and it works for Americans as well. That it's harder to schedule with folks in Europe for me because I have to do it in the morning. So that's why we're talking on a Saturday. So that's why it's a bit harder because I don't think I could have a European on into the Cognosphere because I do it at 8 p.m. Eastern. You know, it'd be really late for y'all.
That'd be like 2 p.m. I think. 2 a.m. Sorry.
Yeah, unless you're pulling an all-nighter and just want to get on and act like an idiot, let me know. If somebody in Europe is like bored and wants to come on, let me know.
I mean, the show is oriented in a way that it's a cool discussion with friends. So I mean, why not? Will I be sober though? It's another question. 2 a.m.
I don't know if you've watched it. I'm always drinking a beer while I'm doing it. It's the only day of the week I drink a beer, but I'll drink like 2 or 3 on camera. I'm just like cracking
them. To do one, I think. But like,
I'm cracking them as I go. It's fun. It's a good time. Yeah, if you're
Monster Energy and a beer, and I'm down.
There you go. And yeah, we've had people. Well, we've only had this happen once. Jesse. Sorry, this is kind of funny. Jesse messaged and said, "Hey, can people call in?" I'm like, because he said that, I was thinking, oh, he wants to call, he wants to talk. I'm like, okay, and then I send him the link. I was like, hey, here's the link. Yeah, feel free to join. He's like, no, I just meant people have the ability to call in. I'm like, I know, but so and he ended up just joining, and we started talking off the cuff. It was pretty cool. He's like, okay, I guess I'll join then.
I love Jesse, dude. He's such an amazing person.
Oh yeah, Jesse too. He's very loud as well. He's awesome.
He is.
Yes. So we do have Batman. He almost got struck by lightning, so that's pretty cool.
What?
You don't know who Batman is?
No. I've never heard of him.
Oh my god. Okay, you need to go into the lore of that. Okay, so I'll describe it real quick. He's in New Jersey. He almost got struck by lightning. He's a pizza delivery guy. He almost got struck by lightning when he was delivering a pizza, like literally. And somebody caught it on camera on their the doorbell camera, ring camera, and like literally the lightning like struck a 6 inches from him or a foot from him, like insane. It was insane. Like, and it was like boom, and he was like, oh my god. He like set the pizza down, like ran away. It's like freaked out. And then, like, a few days later, the person had submitted it to the local news. And then they discovered it was him. And then they called him. And then, at first he was kind of annoyed because he didn't necessarily want that. But then he's like, I'm going to use this as an opportunity to shill SPX.
Oh my god, okay, that's him. I saw the picture of the guy with the SPX shot on the news. Oh god, I didn't know the story. Holy shit, okay.
So yeah.
Okay, that changes everything.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like, yeah, you used a near-death experience to shill SPX, which is great. No, and as soon as it happened, so it happened in July, and it was like on a Saturday when everybody found out about it. He's like, and he just like came onto the scene. Like, he wasn't really talking. He was like kind of more like a reposter, talked about it a little bit. And he's like, look what I'm doing. And everybody's like, what? And then, so he came out pretty strong, and then I had him on the podcast that week, like on a Wednesday. I was like, "Come on, we got to do it. We got to talk about this right now. This is hot off the presses. This is great."
I'll put that on the watch later list.
Yeah, it's one of the it's called the Lightning Special. Yeah, Batman.
Okay, I got it. I'll watch that later.
Yeah, he was on the end of the Cognosphere too recently, but yeah. Oh, he's going to be in Greenville, so that'll be cool. But he's one of the louder ones too. He's great. and he's had his whole. I don't know if you know who Fred Krueger is.
Yep.
So he went toe to toe with him. He joined a space, and they were like arguing, and Fred was being a total dick to him, and Batman just showed his ass up. It was amazing. And then Fred finally agreed. He's like, "Okay, I'll put $10,000 in SPX." I'm sure he hasn't held it, and I bet he probably never bought it. But he claimed he did. I probably didn't though.
He will eventually. We'll grow on him. We'll grow on everyone, actually.
Yeah, eventually. It takes time.
I've seen a lot of people going on Raoul Pal recently.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the raids on him.
Yeah, Raoul Pal's great. Yeah, but he said that, I think he said that famous line. He's like SPX 6900 flip this. What are you talking about? He's like, what are you going to do? Persist forever? Like, this is nonsense. So he said, or whatever he said. And then people clipped that, and he's
watched this.
During the stream, he vapes sometimes, and he was like vaping, and he blew a big old smoke blow, and people made all the coins come out, and it's like all these coins coming out. So he has become an SPX meme for sure, and oh man, he did recently. Him and his macro partner, I guess, like about, I don't know, 6-ish months ago, he said if you're looking into meme coins, one of the ones we would recommend is SPX 6900. It showed relative strength and blah 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 blah. So at least he recognizes it.
I mean, macroeconomically, if you really study SPX, like beyond the community, it's also huge. Like Matt Beck has been showing a lot of charts. Like, you cannot ignore it. It's like 75% of diamond hand holding, or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane that there's never been a coin ever that has that many loyal people.
Yeah, at the age SPX is at, I think that chart he did recently, he did by the age of the coin, is beating Bitcoin in terms of diamond handedness. It's beating XRP, Pepe, like all of them. So that's huge. When Bitcoin was this age, it was not as diamond handed as SPX. That's a crazy statement. I wanted to ask you too, like what, I know you're working on a documentary, like what's, I know you've posted about it a bit, but do you want to describe it here?
You have a specific question or just overall?
Yeah, like what's your plans for it?
Okay, so my vision for it is showing the early lore of SPX from inception to where we are right now. Because there is a lot of lore in SPX. And this lore can really bring you closer to SPX. For instance, myself, if there was kind of a YouTube essay on SPX, I would have watched it while eating, like on a Sunday lunch.
Sure.
And having all the facts in my head would have grown my conviction like tenfold in like one shot. And when you're trying to look into the history of SPX, there is no centralized thing. There is T-Dog that has made a few articles and a timeline, but the timeline doesn't bring you into the emotion side of the SPX story. I'm going to mention, for instance, the coach scandal. So you're probably aware of it. For anyone that doesn't, it's like in January 2024, I think, where IDEA hasn't sold his positions, well, some of his position, and Bitcoin just dumped after that. If you take that and you present it in an emotional way with then what happened, how they built it back up, and if you do that for the whole history of SPX, you're going to bring people into SPX from one 15-minute video. And there's so much things to talk about. It's insane. I've spent 2 days making the whole timeline with detailed things of what happened. So it will be in 2 acts. Act 1 is the very beginning of SPX. Act 2 is the transition towards Murad's list, basically. And then Act 3 is Murad's list onward.
Nice. That is a big defining moment for sure when Murad got into it. Yeah, that's almost thought of a kind of a funny thing. It's like the Bible before Christ, after Christ. Old Testament, New Testament.
Actually, I sent the script to friends, to many OGs. I'll send it to you as well if you're curious.
Sure.
But I also sent it to Gemini, Claude, and ChatGPT and Grok, like all AIs. And I told them, you are a movie director. Please be a critic of my work that I've written. And 3 out of 5 were like, this is a bit like it evangelizes SPX. It's like a Bible, like you said. The AI were like, okay, it's a Bible. Like I'm talking about the prophets, the saints. It's but it's awesome. You got to do it.
That's amazing. That's amazing. No, that sounds that is a really good idea. I think that it's got a lot of substance. It sounds like, and I'm sure it'll be really cool. And I mean, edits are amazing. Don't get me wrong, edits are really cool, but they're kind of abstract in a way. So this is like more grounded in like what events like actually happened, which I think is pretty cool. Yep. So yeah, I'm looking forward to watching it once you get done with. But yeah, that's a very cool idea. I like that, because you're right. There's not like a good video to. We have all these conversations and all these. It's like trying to piece it together. You got to put like many hours in. So having a video to explain it all would be really cool.
Yeah, like to piece the timeline, I had T-Dog's articles. So that's like which tweet were tweeted at which time.
Yep.
Then I used 3 of your interviews, the one with Base God, Spacey, and Hype.
Yep, I was going to tell you that. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, they were really amazing. Like a lot of things. So I wrote the timeline based off that, and then I DM'd Spacey to have her check the timeline, and she gave me so much more detail. Like she wrote for an hour, and after that I was like, my head hurts. Give me a moment. So that took 2 days to retrieve all the lore, and I was like, there aren't a lot of people that are gonna go into the very very early 2023 spaces. So
right.
if I can do that for them and put it in a way that's entertaining and cool, this can do a lot for SPX, because you onboard someone, rather than trying to explain to him what SPX is, you can just show him the video and he will enjoy it, not just as a video to shield SPX, but also because it's well done and it's enjoyable to watch. It's not a documentary on a crypto, it's a documentary on a very interesting social phenomenon.
For sure.
Is how I will describe it.
For sure. If I was getting a PhD in sociology, this is definitely what I would do it on. Like I'd write a thesis about SPX, because it's such an interesting, like you said, social phenomenon for sure. And that was one of the goals with doing the because I felt like you. I was like, what happened early? I was very curious, because it was just like, oh, there's this thing that happened. Oh, there's that thing, and I was like, what exactly was all this? And so that's why I really wanted to have Hype, Spacey, and some of the Base God to kind of explain a bit of that, because I felt like it was very mysterious, and I wanted to demystify it really badly, if you know what I mean. So.
Totally. There's also something with this documentary. I know there are some people holding SPX that really struggle to stomach the volatility. I know we have the no chart culture. Still, a lot of people watch the charts, watch the price. And I'm a big history nerd. I've always loved history, and there's one famous sentence that often comes up, which is, history often doesn't repeat itself, but it sure does rhyme. And if you know what SPX is and the past of what happened, it's going to be easier for you to go through drawdowns, because like what we're having right now, we're having a drawdown. It's so chill compared to what they had. So if you know what the early holders went through, you're like, I can trust these people. They went through so much things. They won't give up now. Like there's no way they will give up now.
Right. Exactly.
That would reassure a lot of people, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, because they've been through a lot. Yeah, that's a very good point. And you could argue now what we're going through. People like very dramatic about it. It's a number on the screen.
It's a number on the screen.
Like
I don't really care.
it'll be all right. So like I think I've said this before. It's like people to have a revolution, to do something cool, people had to do insane, incredible things, hundreds of years ago. This, all you have to do is just survive potentially red days sometimes. It'll be okay.
Yeah.
So that's all you got to do. It's not that hard. But for a lot of people, it is very hard, though. It makes them very stressed and they freak out. So, yeah, you definitely got to build that conviction. I think that's a good conviction builder and a good, like you said, reassurance of what people have gone through. And if you're here now and you've been involved for some time, if you're listening, you're going through that right now. You don't get life-changing gains with there never being a moment of a testing moment. That's just not going to happen. Unless you somehow timed it perfectly, which just it doesn't happen. It's just people just need to get that out of their heads. Nobody's that lucky. And even if you bought it right when we start to have some sort of parabola, if you don't believe in it, then we have a correction. You're going to sell it way too early, or you're going to sell it at a stupid time. So it's good to go through these moments to build your conviction, for sure. But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that there is one thing that's very interesting, usually in people that are not familiar to Web3, where they say, I wish I bought Bitcoin when it was at $1.50. And it's like, bro, you would have never held.
No,
never,
yeah.
ever.
No.
You gotta stomach, you gotta build conviction, you gotta build a community. It's very important. And like you said, if you're a new holder, what you're going through right now is, well, first of all, history, but it's also a test of conviction for you. To not give up and to persist and to be consistent on building, raiding, and spreading the word, spreading the message.
Exactly. And I bought Solana at the peak in 2021, like, I don't know, $180, $200, whatever it was at. And then I DCA'd all the way down. I kept buying even at $8. And the narrative at that time is dead. It's a scam coin, SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried, the whole FTX collapsed because Solana was pretty integrated into FTX. My point is, and then, then I posted that, and then somebody said, well, Solana's a blockchain. What is SPX isn't a blockchain, so it's totally different. I'm like, if you were around then, Solana was dead. Everybody hated it. So I get, my point with that is when you're in the storm, people will make you feel like something is dead. But then when you get out of the storm, people are like, well, of course, that was SPX. I think eventually people are like, well, of course that was SPX. That's not whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, so people will, in hindsight, say, well, of course you did that because it's Solana. Of course you did that because it's Bitcoin. It's like, no, that's not of course. At the time, it was dead, supposedly. So Bitcoin was dead when it dropped from $100 to $10 or $1,000 to $100. It's dead now, apparently, which is nuts. We're at $90,000 and it's dead or whatever. So it's this is just how markets work. But
you're totally right. In insight, it's always obvious after, but when you're in the fog of war, you really need a band of brothers and conviction and a lot of things to keep you hooked and to keep you there, because it's very hard and people often underestimate that afterwards. They're like, oh yeah, but like you said, it's Solana, of course you bought. And you're like, no, it wasn't that easy.
No, everybody was shilling Polygon. I remember it was all Ethereum wins, layer 2s, Solana's dead. That was the narrative. Alt L1s are dead. Ethereum, L2s, that's it. And everybody was shilling Ethereum L2s. Polygon, Matic, that was the biggest one. I don't know if you look at that chart, didn't go so well. And then there's plenty of other ones. So they tried to make you feel like, oh, well, you just need Ethereum. Every other alt one doesn't make sense. There's no way. But clearly that's not true because Solana is It's not as big as Ethereum, but it's done quite well, regardless of how you may have felt about it in the past. So, I'm still I am a Solana fanboy in terms of tech, but I think asset, I mean, it'll probably do okay, but that's just not something I'm focused on. SPX is 100% my focus. I know it's going to outperform.
Yeah.
And it's not about the tech. And there wasn't a narrative at that time I was, that now with SPX, it is a neo store of value, and we're in the nascent phase. And also, the tech doesn't matter. The other thing good about not being focused on the tech is you're tech agnostic. So you could be on the SUI blockchain, you could be on the BNB blockchain, you could just be a part of the stock market, actually, which is kind of weird to think, but that could happen too. There's 1,000 different vehicles in order to gain exposure to the asset. Doesn't matter if it's literally the blockchain. That is absolutely dumb to believe that. But anyways, that kind of touched a nerve with me when I commented that the other day. So I was like, dude, you have no idea. Like, anyways, but yeah, it's exciting to be involved right now. I think it's definitely really cool. What else do y'all have planned for Amsterdam? I know you got your documentary and you're going to do some videography. Like, is the plan to do what is the plan to do panels and presentations and stuff like that, or what else do y'all have planned?
Right, so I'm not the one organizing that, but I'll try to give as much as I can. There will be a few panels and talks. There are, I think, at the moment, 8 people who manifested and wanted to do a talk.
Nice.
So there will be that going throughout all the day. That will be live streamed.
Nice.
So we'll try and have that a little bit late in the day, maybe begin at 10 a.m. That way, some Americans can be there, and we have the big talks and panels at 2 p.m., 3 p.m., where people can be there. If we rent the current room that we've got, we'll also have a little bit of space to do just like you guys did in Miami, which is a little art expo.
Nice.
And outside of that, so that's not organized yet, but we really want to do that, is having coordinated just gatherings outside and shield in the streets.
Cool. That's
and
awesome.
Also just chill meetups to meet everyone you've seen on the timeline and you want to have, a drink with.
Sure. That makes sense. Awesome. Yeah, I'd love to go. There's just no way that I could. I would definitely love to go.
It's tough, dude. It's probably extremely expensive as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I think I can only pull off one weekend to myself like that. Like, I have a wife and kid too, so there's also that. So there's also that, and yeah, it would be cool to go to. And I think Jesse's coming from America. Hopefully, a few Americans, a few more Americans are able to come. But I think Dubbing is actually coming to South Carolina too. Which is amazing because he's going to go. So he's going to go to both. Jesse's going to both, so they'll have a good perspective. But I'm very glad
Nick is coming to Amsterdam.
Really,
if I'm not mistaken,
that's
So,
amazing.
yeah.
He's definitely coming to South Carolina. He's as well. He's going to be on a panel too. So, but I hope we can come to Amsterdam as well. That's amazing. So that'd be cool. Yeah. Anyways, that's definitely the most exciting stuff happening right now in SPX, at least for me. But also other cool things happening on a smaller scale. I think that's the 2 bigger things that are happening. Amsterdam definitely been the biggest. But I think there's a lot of stuff that happens going on behind the scenes that I'm not aware of, but at least that's what I'm aware of. When did you start editing videos generally? I know you started maybe February-ish for crypto, but what about generally?
Thank you for watching Persist Forever. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Now back to the episode.
I've had my first experiences when I was extremely young. I was a big gamer at the time, so I wanted to make montages of my gameplays.
Nice.
Not have like a YouTube channel, but make like phase edits at the time. So very, very gaming stuff. And I picked it up, but it was so hard at the time to get into. The softwares were really hard, so I quickly gave up because, well, I was just too focused on gaming as well. I didn't want to spend 3 to 4 hours a night editing when I could be gaming. I was very young. So I kind of left it there. And about 3 years ago, I was in physiotherapy school and I was really bored. Like the classes weren't stimulating. I was like, okay, like there's not a lot of stuff to learn here. So I'm going to take all my free time and try and have an Instagram account, TikTok account, and a YouTube channel and try and spread, scientific, up-to-date information like nutrition, training, what to do if you're injured. So I went on a YouTube channel like that. And well, there was CapCut now, so I could edit easily, and I built a lot of editing skills passively. It was actually something I hated. I hated editing. Out of the whole video process making, every time I would go onto CapCut, I'd be so down because I hated the process of editing. But I forced myself to over the course of 2 years, and I actually built skills that I underestimated. I was always like, oh, I hate that. I hate this. I hate that. And in the end, it's now become one of my favorite things to do, which is actually crazy. And that's a good life lesson for a lot of things. It's not because you don't like something that you shouldn't persist in it. Sometimes you just gotta get better and then you'll enjoy it. And it's what happened. I started editing for like Web3 in December 2024, making simple edits. And I improved a lot in March 2025 because I had a lot of skills from making IRL YouTube vids. And when I transferred them to Web3, I just grew extremely high in potential by making like 1, 2, 3 vids a week.
Nice. I will say, yeah, I kind of feel you on it used to be much tougher to edit. The software kind of sucked. It was kind of, if you wanted to get a decent one, it was kind of expensive. And it was just, CapCut made things so much better, at least to me. Like when I started getting into CapCut earlier in 2025, I don't know. It's just like, it just makes it's just much easier to learn, much easier to do. I absolutely love using that software. And the more I've done it, it's like therapeutic almost. I find video editing kind of therapeutic.
It's so awesome. But for the reference, I think 80% of my videos are done on CapCut still. I know how to use Premiere, DaVinci, After Effects, the big softwares, and still I go back to CapCut because of how good it is, how chill it is, and it's smooth and nice. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've never done anything crazy edit-wise, but for all the videos I make, CapCut is fine. Like, I don't do anything too crazy, and I absolutely love it. It just makes things a breeze. And this is a fun fact: I do all of my video editing. Well, let me take that back. I used to do all my video editing on my phone for like a long time. Now I have a tablet that I do it on. So I do it all through the mobile app. I don't even use the desktop app. Actually, I don't like the desktop app. Yeah, okay. I find the mobile app easier to use.
Well, I know a few editors that edit on mobile as well. But it's just when you do something that's, when you have a lot of layers, so a lot of videos and a lot of sound effects, you just can't. It's impossible.
Yeah, agreed. The most layers I would have is maybe 3 or 4 or 5. Probably 5. Probably 5 is about the most I've ever done.
Which is pretty big already.
Yeah. It could get. I don't know. I still prefer the mobile app. I don't know. I'm weird about it. Like I could just knock it around real easy. It's just easier to me for some reason. And then
and you're not alone.
Just
got you. There are a few editors that edit on phone. For instance, you probably know Miss Ponzi from SPX.
Yes.
She edits on phone only.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
I know a few other guys that only edit on phone and they make videos. I'm like, how the fuck are you doing that on mobile? Like, that's insane.
Yeah, I totally get it. And now that I recently, my phone crapped out on me about 2 or 3 months ago, and I got a new phone. And then I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna buy a tablet too, because the phone would take forever to render a 4K video, like forever. So I got a tablet, and that's made it even easier. It's still the mobile app, but I can actually, whenever you're doing more layers, it's easier because you got more screen to work with. So
it's bigger, right?
Yeah, it's just bigger. So the tablet's amazing. I love it. You can even hook up a mouse and keyboard, but I actually tried that. I was like, I don't like that. I prefer just the touch thing.
It's intuitive. Yep.
Yeah, it's
easier.
Yeah, for me. But yeah, I do understand. Like, if you have a ton of layers and are really trying to make something. It also, mine are usually pretty rough. And now that I just do the podcast stuff, it's rare. It's rarely over 2 layers. So there's really no need to get it the fanciest stuff. Adobe Premiere would be dumb for me to get, It would make sense.
And, I think it's, tough take. It's very overrated as a software. I don't really like it. As I said, I do most things on CapCut because I'm way faster.
Yeah.
Like, something on Premiere, it's very slow. It crashes a lot.
Yeah.
It doesn't render well. I have 86 gigabytes of RAM.
Damn, that's a lot of RAM, dude.
Render, yeah, it's a lot, and Premiere sometimes fucks up on me, so I'm like, how the and CapCut, I've got no issue with it, so what I usually do is CapCut and After Effects. And it's more than enough for most things I do.
I think Adobe has all that tech debt, is what I would think. That's what I think is the issue. It's been around for so long. Like, you know what I mean? CapCut's new and lean, and so I think that's probably it. And CapCut's like designed by the TikTok ByteDance, I think. So it's like very optimized for pumping out the videos, I think, is why it's so good.
Oh, yeah.
It's really great too if you're just starting out with edits and stuff. I did this a bit early on when I was doing the TikTok thing more. You could choose a TikTok template, which some of them are pretty cool actually, and then you just like put videos or pictures into it, and it'll do it for you. And it's like a trendy one, and a lot of times those can perform pretty well on TikTok actually if they're a trending template. So and it'll make you feel good too, especially at the beginning. You're like, oh, that's cool. There's all this fancy stuff, and I've got to put cool videos to it or images that I thought were better. So if people are dabbling, I would say definitely start with a CapCut mobile app. Look at some templates and stuff like that if you just want to get started and make something decent looking right away. It's pretty cool.
Completely. And there's also a lot of depth to CapCut. There are a lot of things that are hidden in the software that can bring up your editing level very high before you move on to another software. You have a lot to do in CapCut before even moving on to Premiere or After Effects. Unless, like I said, you want to make a 10-minute video with a lot of layers and transitions, well, maybe you should learn Premiere. But if you want to keep it to short videos and even edits like I do, CapCut is more than enough. And there are a lot of things you can learn on it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I pay for the Pro because I like some of the features, like the ability to press a button and it just removes everything and you get the green.
Yep.
That right there alone that makes it worth it. Just be able to do that quickly. The text, I think it does some of the auto captions better and stuff like that. But yeah, do you pay for Pro? I assume you probably do.
Obviously, yeah.
I
have to.
Yeah, but even if you don't pay for Pro, I was trying to get at, even if you don't pay for Pro, there's a lot of things it does for free, and it's still pretty damn good. Even if it's for free. If you're just
you have more things on phone, I think, than on desktop.
Yes.
Though.
True.
I think desktop is a little bit more limited in what you can do.
Correct.
But for the record, for anyone watching, there is a way, which I will not mention, to have the Pro features. But yeah, you can look it up. There are some ways.
Okay. That's good to know. That's good to know for people. Are you using AI in your videos a lot or some, or how do you feel about AI?
I'm changing my stance on it very often. There is one video that I've made where I used generative AI, and looking back on it, I fucking hate it. I feel like it's AI slop and it's really bad. So now I don't really use AI anymore. I use it sometimes for scripting, but essentially because my English is nowhere near perfect and I can make syntax errors or grammar errors. So I use it as a tool to correct what I write, but I don't script with it. I script everything by hand because I find that AI usually repeats itself and has always the same phrasing. It will usually say things like, this is not a token, this is a financial revolution. It's something that comes up very often and you see it and I see it. So I don't script with it. But I'm often checking up on it and trying and see how it's progressing. What I use, though, are voiceovers. I use AI for voiceovers.
Gotcha.
Like for all my videos where there's a voice, it's AI voiceover.
Right.
Because for a minute 30 video, it's enough. But for instance, for the documentary, I'm gonna speak with a professional to get a real voiceover from an actor.
Awesome. Yeah, that'll definitely, it's cool.
So that's audio, text, and video. I use maybe 5 to 10% of it for very short video that I usually do as overlays. You know, when I want to have. Right. There are 2 videos recently. There is one edit of mine that's very slow. There's a slow music and it's just text on screen. I don't know if you remember that. There are TV screens in this video, and those are made with AI.
Gotcha.
And I integrated a video in the TV screen with After Effects. That was very long, but that was with AI.
Cool.
I don't really like full AI videos, but that's my personal preference. For me, that they do not transmit a message as well as real life content, which is why in my videos I use a ton of movies. I like when people watch something and they recognize something. I think that's the best feeling. You're like, oh, that's the scene from Matrix. I know that. Oh, that's the song from that video game or that series, that TV show. I think that's what brings the most emotion in people, which is my problem with AI. It can be bland at time and you feel it in your core. You're like, there's something wrong. It's a bit uncanny valley very quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you have to be very tasteful with it. If you make an AI video, like if it's just Grok Imagine slop, obviously that's not great. but or if it's done to where it's, I think there are some pure AI videos that are done fairly well, but it definitely still has the uncanny valley feeling. But I'm not like against it. But
I'm not against it as well. I just want to clarify.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I think it's best. Right now, at least, it's best used to just augment stuff, like you're saying, like maybe make a background or add a little effect or do something interesting with it. Yeah. With stuff I do occasionally, like every once in a while, I get this itch to make a 5-10 second little stupid thing. So sometimes I'll do. I made. This was just me. I actually used Grok Imagine, and I was just curious, like how fast I could make this idea happen. It was a very stupid idea. So, and I don't know why I did it, but I took an old picture of Abraham Lincoln. So like a super old picture of him, like one of those ones where he's just like standing like this, and I said, make him say, stop trading and believe in something and take a bow. And it's usually Grok Imagine's voice sounds like shit, but it actually sounded kind of decent. So I was like, oh, okay, so not that bad. And he did it perfectly and then took a bow. And I thought that was hilarious. And then I added like this old image filter, and then I added the SPX coin rotating, and I put an old image filter on it, like a classic film filter. And it was like kind of decent. I was like, and it took me like 5 minutes to make. So I was like, all right, I'll put it on. A lot of people actually liked it. It was one of my best performing TikTok videos. It's like, this is so sad.
What's crazy though is on social media, AI slop goes insane.
Yeah, so I don't want to say
It's-
we might need some slot masters on the TikToks and the Instagrams.
Well, SPX man is enough.
Yeah, that's true. He is the perfect slot man. Yeah, definitely.
What I will say though is in the future, I think I will use more AI. I've been trying out a new style where I basically use blend models, so mannequin style. You know, they don't have a face. It's like a mannequin. You might have seen it in a few YouTube videos, maybe. Like they have scenes where mannequins are doing something, like they're sat in a room with only one source of light. I think that can be cool with AI. And there are tools that are coming out, like we've talked previously with Cloud Card, where you can do pretty amazing thing. And AI it's going fast, it's evolving fast, and I'm sure in 5 to 6 months it's gonna be much more useful for video editing. I still think it's gonna keep that uncanny valley feeling to it if you do 100% AI.
Yes.
But if you do 50-50, I think it's probably going to be perfect and it's going to do well. So we'll see how we have to adapt.
I think, I don't know if, I can't remember the name of the website. It's Klingen or Higlin. I'm not saying it right. Something in some AI site. Can't remember the name. But you can, and maybe this is what you're describing, I don't know. But you can move around and or like walk or talk and then tell it to say you're in a space world or something, and then it'll like make ships above you and all this stuff, but it can show you with whatever you want it to be. But the thing is that was cool is you know how a lot of times the AI, the facial features look kind of weird, you know, the uncanny valley thing.
Yeah,
it keeps your emotion, you know, how you're emoting onto whatever character you're bringing out. And honest to God, to me, I can't tell much difference between that and CGI, what they do with CGI today. I can't tell a difference. So I thought that was pretty cool. I think AI is going to do better when you can give it reference material instead of just, like you said, pure AI. So if you have a scene of you walking and doing something, and then you upload that, and then you tell it, make the world this around me something crazy, and then I'm actually fighting somebody or something like that, could be pretty cool. And the examples I've looked at so far, I can't tell much difference between that and like an Avengers movie or CGI. I can't, but maybe I'm not the smartest. But
it takes a very, very trained eye to see the difference. Even myself, there are a few channels that I follow where they show you videos, and one is made with AI and the other is not, and you have to choose which one is which. And as it evolves, I'm getting worse and worse.
Yes, before I could
like,
tell
every
instantly.
month that passes by, I'm like, fuck. Like sometimes I get caught. I'm like, okay, like it's done.
Yeah, I know. I used to be really good at it. I was like, oh yeah, that's obvious. Now I'm not as good. So yeah, it's a little scary.
I saw a video. Well, you probably remember the first Will Smith spaghetti eating video.
Yeah.
That was 2023.
Yep.
Actually, that's like only 2 years ago, like 2 to 3 years ago. Like, what's gonna happen in 2 years?
I have nostalgia for those videos too. They were great in a way. They were kind of amazing.
Oh man, they're amazing.
I'm glad we can always go back and like reference those old models, I believe, and still build those shitty looking videos. Yep. I think that's pretty cool. I think that'll be a thing probably at some point. Just shit AI videos as art.
Return to tradition, like the bad AI slot. Yep.
You remember that? That was great. I could see people doing that. Those old videos, it's like, I don't know if you've had sort of like those lucid dreams that are sort of lucid but not really. They're like, you know, you can't really control yourself. Yes. That's what it reminds me of. It's like you're trying to eat spaghetti but you can't quite do it and you're eating it over here.
It has that feeling to it, yeah.
It's like it's dreaming and it can't quite figure out what it's doing. There's some of them that are wild. I don't know if you ever saw this one where like it's like an Asian woman walking and then she like turns into a jet ski and goes in and turns into a shark flying into the air. It's like, what the fuck am I looking at?
No, there are some people that are so creative with it and prompt in a way that it makes crazy stuff. You have to watch it. You're like, what the fuck is happening? That's why it goes viral too. You're like, that's so unhinged. It's it's funny. Like, you can't say otherwise. It's really funny.
Yeah, that AI slop I actually kind of like. That's actually good because it's so wild. It's like, what the fuck did I just watch? Grok imagine.
I like the funny AI slop like this. I love and I like. What pisses me off is, for instance, I get a Binance ad when I watch YouTube. It's always the same ad.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like 5 AI generated people looking at the Binance app. And I'm like, that's fucked. Like, dude, this is fucked.
I've seen them so much. I've seen them for aspirin. I've seen them for an aspirin commercial. Aspirin. Yep. I was like, oh my God, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's my only issue with AI. It's like, please, at least, I know it cuts production, but there's gonna be a wave of people like me that go, come on, like, I'm not gonna buy that product if it's made with AI.
The Coke ad was pure AI too. It was so bad. It was so bad. It's like, this is bad. Awful, man. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, sure, but the fact is, most people aren't going to care or notice. That's just a fact.
Yeah, they don't.
They're like, oh yeah, that's the fun little whatever, the Christmas thing. Okay, yeah, whatever. That's Coke. Okay, I get it. You know what I mean? They're not going to think about
it. We had a long drive with my partner this morning, and we talked about AI a lot. And I was like, we're a lot into AI, and even on X, we've got a lot of AI news and all of that. But like most people do not know anything about AI. I'm speaking from personal experience. When I talk to patients, they only use ChatGPT as Google, and even that, it's a minority. I think the percentage of people that knows how to use AI is lower than those who use crypto. I really believe that. And like you say, they're not going to care because, they're like, oh, okay, that's AI. It's only those that are informed about AI that will really care about it. And there are not a lot of us, I think.
Yeah, they're going to win. I already know that. AI slop will win. Yeah. It just is what it is. Oh, yeah, there's nothing we can do about it. Dead internet theory is 100% true, and it's going to get worse.
Yeah, that's why also I'm really, like, 2026, I'm like, I want to lock in and make as much stuff as possible because it still has a lot of meaning. And maybe after that, it's not going to be as impacting. So I got to give it my all right now.
Well, I mean, it may be more impacting because the reason why I say that is the people who are really going to care. This is, okay, so you make an AI slop video that goes viral. It gets 200,000, 1 million views, whatever. 1 million people watched it and were like, flick off.
Yeah.
Is that really what you want? 1 million, That's not that great. I would rather have 1,500, 1,000 people who love what I made over 1 million people going, yeah, that's great. You know what I mean? Like, sure, that'll make you more money. Completely. That'll make you more money. I mean, I'm not going to deny that. But if your goal is to make money from creating stuff, you should be getting into AI slop right now and making an ass ton of content. That's what you should be doing.
If you want to make money, PSA right now, just do YouTube Kids video with AI and you're a millionaire right now.
Yes. The kids, I have a kid, so like, oh my, I see it, I'm like, this is insane. Like, what the fuck? I mean, of course, the kid's not going to know the difference. The kid's just going to be like, oh, that's funny. And if you let your kid just watch videos unsupervised, they're going to see all this just insane shit. And it's not real, and it's just weird, and because a lot of it is weird. Like, you'll see a Mickey Mouse lookalike and like splitting into 3 characters. Then like it's all slop crap, so it looks awful and it's not done well. So I watched one out of curiosity, but
I must ask you because I'm curious. So I'm 26 years old. So I lived the period where internet grew a lot. I was the real Zoomer, like beginning 1990 kid, and I saw internet growing, and a few people taught me about it and gave me like the safety things to browse the internet. You as a parent, how do you see AI for your kids? Like, how are you going to teach them AI? Like, what are you going to do? I'm very curious about that because it's a thing. Like when I'm gonna have kids, I'm very worried about AI and like how it's gonna impact my kids.
Well, I will say my kid's 2 or practically 2, almost 2 right now, and I do not let. Occasionally, we watch TV some, and whenever we do, it's like I'm very like I don't just like put it on, let her just zonk out and watch it or something. It's very I pick it out and I don't let the algorithm take over or something like that. And we only watch it for so long, and it's usually real life stuff. You know, there's a lady called Miss Rachel who's kind of like Mr. Roger from before. And so no AI content at all. Like if it is content that's CGI, it's like a CGI show, like Mickey Mouse or something, like actual Mickey Mouse, not the AI crap Mickey Mouse, which they do exist. There's quite a few of those. But yeah, very meticulously and very small. I get why some people do that with their kids, especially if they're busy or they're a single parent or whatever. Like it's a great babysitter, but if you do that and you fall into that trap, you get lazy, or you if you allow your kid to sit there and watch it constantly, that kid's gonna be fucked up. There's just no doubt about that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, so for me, and for specifically for AI use, I don't plan to let my kid have a phone until they're like driving or need a phone. So
right.
Yeah, it will be, and I'm sure they'll probably hate me for that, but it'll be very, very limited use, is what I would say. Yeah,
they will. No, I'm very curious about the damage that will do to a growing brain.
Yes,
like the prefrontal cortex, like before you're 25 years old. Like even myself, I think I got fucked up by the internet. But I'm being serious.
We all did a little bit. I mean,
yeah. Like it's a fact that Zoomers have lower attention spans.
Right.
It is a fact, and even myself, it took me like 4 years to get back an attention span, and even then, sometimes I fall back into pitfalls and I have to climb out of it.
Sure.
So if that fucked me up, how will AI fuck up the other generations? This is very scary to me. Very scary.
Agree. I agree. So when I was growing up, I didn't have a computer till I was like 11 because like computers sucked. Like, and my parents weren't computer savvy at all. So, I mean, I had computers at the school, and we had, like, I remember when I learned about what Google was, like, blew my fucking mind. I was like, oh my God, you could just search information. For me, it was just, like, literally, it was just like, you could just search information. I could just, like, read Wikipedia and, like, look at all this stuff. This is amazing. That blew my mind. When I was, like, 9 or 10 years old, I wanted a computer so bad. I, like, begged my parents, like, get a computer. And then they finally got a computer, and it was dial-up, of course. And dial-up was awful. And so whenever you're like, I'm going to go look up something, 15, 20 minutes later, it's still loading.
It's so slow.
So there was no way to over-abuse it because it barely worked. Like,
yeah.
In the images, or there were no videos. Like, if you did download a video with dial-up, it took hours to tie up your phone, and your mom would get pissed at you. So you couldn't really download videos. At least I couldn't. But and then I lived out in a very rural area, so we were stuck with dial-up for a long time. But my other friends who lived more, closer to town had broadband in like 2000. They started getting like 2003, 2004 when I was like a teen, like 13, 14. And I'd go over to his house and I'd be like, oh my God, this is amazing. Being able to like look up YouTube like videos and watch them instantly, play World of Warcraft, play all this stuff, and I was like, this blew my fucking mind because I couldn't do any of that. So, except I did get Diablo 2 to work with dial-up. It was so bad, but it was laggy as fuck. But I did kind of get it to work. So I was like, I still think internet and everything did fuck me up to a degree. And then whenever I got to college and I had broadband, like it was like, oh my God. This is amazing. This is blowing my mind. So, yeah, I don't think people realize how incredible technology is, so we need to, like, appreciate it. Like I remember,
Oh yeah, we gotta be grateful.
yeah, YouTube is incredible. Like I remember discovering YouTube. And I remember you could like basically get through YouTube, if that makes sense. Like I got through all the viral videos today. We're good. There's nothing really else to watch. That's how it was. It was crazy. I mean, of course there were other videos, but you know, you'd watch the popular ones, and it was just so weird back then. I remember. Sorry, I'm going on a tangent right now because you struck.
It's all right. I love it.
You struck a chord of my memory. I remember Fred. I don't know if you heard of Fred before. He was the biggest YouTuber for like a minute. He had like 1 million. He was the first to hit 1 million subscribers, I think, and it was so bad. But all he did is he'd make these obnoxious, horribly annoying videos where he would make his voice sound like a little chipmunk, like "I'm Fred," and it'd be like it was just sped up essentially, and it sounded. But we all thought it was hilarious. We thought it was hilarious.
So many things from the time, like so many YouTube videos, so many trends, cartoons as well, and it was crazy back then. Like getting 10,000 views was absurdly, like it was huge. Now you get 100,000 and you're like, it's all right.
I still remember that. I mean, that's why I'm so grateful with my YouTube channel. I've got like 900 almost now. And some people be like, "Oh, it's only 900 subscribers." I'm like, "Hell yeah, dude!" Like I'm so grateful for that. It's huge. And as passionate people and actually listening to what I'm doing. Another thing people don't look at with their YouTube channels, I think some people just like focus on the views. You really got to look at like how engaged your viewership is, like how much are they actually watching it. And I have the people watching it watch the content very well. And I would rather have a channel with 900 subscribers and people who are engaged an hour, 2 hour, 2.5 hour content than a bajillion subscribers who watch little 2-second shorts. Like that doesn't mean a whole lot to me because they're not really getting much out of it. So anyways, I think that's my old brain because I think that's amazing, and I've always wanted that too. But
it is. Even myself, my YouTube channel, I didn't grow it a lot because I didn't want to do the trendy stuff. You've probably seen like the new viral meme with the Joker just dancing in front of the Queen. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to be doing trends and being a clown for views. So I grew my channel slowly. And like you said, I had a few guys who sent me messages like, "You've saved my life. Like I was depressed. Now I go to the gym and I have a cool life." I'm like, I don't need anything more than that.
Right.
Like if I change the lives of even 2 to 3 people, it's enough for me. It's so much more than enough. I'm curious, what's the retention time on this podcast? More or less.
It is well, it depends on the guest. I guess some
obviously,
yeah. So it depends on the guest, but average, I would say the average. I think it's like the average viewer time is like 15-20 minutes. So on like a 2-hour video, I would get it'd probably be closer to like a 20-minute mark, which some people. Some people click it and click off. So immediately, but whenever people who watch beyond, a few minutes tend to watch the whole video. So you usually have about a 15%, 20% completion rate of a 2-hour video.
That's pretty huge, man.
Yeah. I think it's pretty good.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, so that means
those videos on my YouTube channel, I had like 10%, I think.
Well, some are 10% too, but I'd say average probably 15-ish. And some, like the Spacey one did very well, of course. And the Murad ones do better, of course. Everybody finds it very engaging. But these are like 2.5 hour videos too, and 2 hour videos and 1.5 hour videos. So the fact that 5 people have watched the whole thing is impressive to me. So I love that. And even if somebody just like pokes around and watches 15-10 minutes here and there, that's great too. So, yeah, I think it's I according to Grok, it was above average, I think, but I know it's not because of me, it's because of the guests and because of the community. The community is why it's so engaging, and the guests are why it's so engaging for people. So And I have some people who watch like every one and will watch it to the end. So the one thing I would say I wish I could get better at is my thumbnails suck, and I'm aware they suck. I'm just not good at making them. So I know my impression click rate is pretty shit. So that would be the only one I would like to improve. But
I mean, making thumbnails for podcasts. I've never clicked on a podcast because of the thumbnail.
That's what I thought
in my life. Yeah, I click it. I click on it because A, I know the person. B, I looked up the topic that we're talking about, and you're the podcast that does it. Like you're in the niche. Or C, I love the title, and it was interesting. Like the title hooked me.
Right.
And I never you can't do an insane thumbnail, I think, for podcasts.
I agree. I hate the way they look too. I can't stand that look, like the Mr. Beast,
full saturated, mouth open thing.
I can't do it. I can't get myself to do it. I've got a little formula. I got a font that says "Persist Forever" and the name of the person and my picture and their picture behind like this little black background, and then the SPX logo in the middle. Like that's fine. It looks okay. It's good enough. It's basically what I've landed on. Because I cannot do it. The Mr. Beast.
Not
logos.
Sure you can do anything different. Honestly, a podcast doesn't grow from thumbnails.
No,
and, like for instance, even for myself, like I listen to podcasts on Spotify.
Yeah,
more than anything. So
mine's on Spotify too. By the way, I don't know if you knew that, but it is.
Yeah, I listen to it on Spotify.
Oh, nice. That's where you listen.
I'm probably the top listener on Spotify. Whenever I go for a run, I just have your interviews. Listening to every interview.
Well, I do keep it on a week lag because I am the YouTube channel is the main focus. But I think it's cool. The Spotify the Spotify definitely has more engaged viewers, but there's just a lot less views. If you know what I mean. So like a higher average time watch or listen or whatever, and I think it's like between. I've just recently, I'm almost at 11,000 hours watched, and I think my Spotify is like at 600 or 700 hours. So it's like 5% of my YouTube viewership.
I probably got 100 hours out of them.
so it's you and like 5 other people who are watching them all, which is great. I mean, even if it's just 5 people who look at them, it's not a big deal to upload it. So I'm fine with it.
It's just because on Spotify I can lock my phone.
Yes.
It's I'd love to go on YouTube, but I can't go for a walk with YouTube open.
You have to do the super premium in order to do it.
Yeah,
which is ridiculous.
That, so
no, I don't blame you.
I'm on Spotify for that.
I don't blame you. I can't believe YouTube does that. But a lot of people have the premium, so which is good. Listening to it on X is like impossible. Like it doesn't work really.
Oh, it's horrible.
And the other thing, X. I don't know if people know this, but X inflates like for longer video. Like I think X is better for shorter clips or like super short clips. I think that's what X is better for.
Yep.
Because I've uploaded my whole thing, and then I'll have Murad or somebody repost it. Like my Seb episode got like 25,000 views, and my YouTube version of Seb got 500-ish views. But if you dig into it, my X post, the average view on my 25,000 views was like 5 seconds. It's 10 seconds. Nobody who actually completed the X version was like 10 people. So but then who completed the YouTube version was like 80 people, and it had an average view of 20 minutes, 15 minutes. I can't remember what it was.
Right.
So YouTube is just way better for growing for longer videos. I put it on X too, just because there is those few people that do watch it, and it's not a big deal to upload it. But I think it'll give you, if you're doing that and you're trying to grow on X purely from a long form content, you might get a false sense of doing well because they count an impression as a view. And that doesn't make any sense. Like literally, it'd be the equivalent of YouTube whenever you see the picture of my video and saying, "Oh, that's a view." Wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like that's what X does.
That's bad.
That's what X does. Like literally, and because the video will start to play, and it's an impression, and it might play for. I think it counts it whenever it hits 5 seconds. And some people aren't like, they might look at it for a second. Oh, I don't want to watch that. Scroll away. They'll count that as a view.
Yeah.
That's not a view. That's ridiculous. But anyways,
And even on YouTube, the community is overall much better, much healthier, much more loyal. The people on YouTube are, amazing. On TikTok, on my older vids, I've always had people fucking with me or being haters. Instagram as well. YouTube, I've only had love. They're much more loyal because they also pick their content to watch, like out of intent. Even if they're manipulated by thumbnails and titles, they still have an interest to watch what they're watching. So they will be much more engaged, much more chill overall.
Yeah, YouTube is way better. I think it's the king for video content, like, and growing an audience long term. I think it's definitely the king. Okay, I got a couple more questions for you. So, if resources weren't a constraint, let's just say you got all the money in the world, whatever, it's not a constraint. What would you like to see produced by SPX? It could be a video, it could be something in real life, it could be whatever you can imagine. What would be the coolest thing in your wildest dreams?
Give me a second. Well, I'm obviously biased by video content, so I would love to see an actual hour and a half documentary. Nice. A real documentary that really showcases everyone, and it's something very professional. Now, if you remove the bias of video content, I'd love to see a festival. I think having an Aeon festival would be the funniest thing ever, to have a huge party with all the Aeons. I would love to see that. I think that would be the most amazing thing to do.
Yeah, like an Aeon music festival type thing with like art and all that stuff. Yeah, I thought
art, music, food, everything. Like, because we have, I think, we're on social media, right? So we all show our skills that are for social media. So that may be rating, video creation, writing articles. But I'm sure that many people in SPX have hidden talents that they can't show online. There are probably amazing cooks in SPX, like, for instance, something like that. And we could have an event like that, which is art, music, and everything, and everyone could showcase their skills, meet up new people, and make friends. I think that would be the best way, the best thing ever.
Yeah, I've been to some music festivals too, where they had like comedians doing stand up in like different tents. Like, we could do so much different stuff. That would be amazing. It wouldn't make sense to do it now because we couldn't. I mean, we don't have enough people to justify it, but hey, we're sitting at $20, $100 billion market cap. I think it can be done. We'll have a lot more people.
Completely. It's like doing a Burning Man, but with SPX, basically.
Dude, you're literally dubbing brought the. I asked dubbing this too. That's what he compared it to, Burning Man. Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah. So, well, I think we're all on the same page on this one. I think that's what we all want to do. Because it would be incredible.
I think that would be amazing. Yeah.
I mean, at a $100 billion market, $100 coin, I think we could definitely do it, because we'll have a lot more people and we'd have a lot more resources. I think it's like totally doable. SPX 6900 festival, something that would be so cool. But this would be a very good, like, marketing thing. It would be amazing. People would be like, "What is this?" And they could come and experience music, and I think it'd be so cool to get different musicians there. They would get exposed to it. What if we converted, I don't know, some band into Aeons through it or something like that we hired to play at the festival? You know what I mean? That'd be so cool. And then they become like ambassadors. That'd
be totally possible as well. Music is usually like the biggest outlet of spirituality for me. So I'm pretty sure there would be a lot of people keen to learn about SPX in music.
Yep.
So I think that's my final answer, yeah. Besides the documentary, because I'd love to see one, and that's personal bias. But for everyone, I think the most impacting thing will be that.
Agreed. Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I think that'd be amazing. What keeps you bullish and persisting?
Um, in crypto or in life?
For SPX.
For
Sorry,
SPX,
let
yeah.
me be clear.
Yeah, because I could go on a philosophical rant of an hour.
If
What
you want
keeps me
to.
bullish on SPX?
Yeah. And persisting with making content and contributing to it.
So, say we remove the mission. Like, if we go beyond the stock market, it's the people I've met here. Definitely. There are so many wonderful souls. For the 2 to 3 years where I pursued my fitness influencer career, I was very lonely, not socially, but in terms of ambitions, because the people around me were all into partying and doing drugs, which, is cool, but you can have a balance and also work on the side. And I knew nobody that wanted to get more out of life and work and improve and get better. And ever since I joined SPX, I've met so many amazing people that have goals, ambitions, crazy lives, crazy experiences to tell. And just meeting these people, I'm like, finally, I found a tribe of people that, they want to have fun. They're also very chill guys. They're not grind mode 24/24. I want to make money, but they have ambition, goals, and things they are working towards, whether it's bettering themselves. I'm thinking, for example, about the challenge, like the 500 miles challenge that has popped up.
That's great.
Or a lot of aeons going to the gym, getting better, like 1% aeon, but also spiritually, but also financially, but also socially. It's like it pushes you to become a better human and meet other humans that think like you. That's what keeps me persisting. I want to be with these people. I want to help those people as well. And my video content inspires people. So I want to keep doing it.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Your passion is seeping through, and it's awesome. No, that's great. I love that. I mean, it's good to hear your voice. We all know you're passionate, but it's really good to hear that too.
Yeah, I've been in the shadows. Like I said, I started really interacting, in the cognosphere in March, April, May 2025. And I made my first video, which I hadn't released. And I really, 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 really started being vocal and active in July, August, September, I think. So I know that, some people may know my name, but I'm like a complete stranger that just popped up out of nowhere. I know that.
No, I wouldn't go that far, but yeah. Now, the one thing I will say too, I think people who are face docs tend to get more attention than people who aren't face doxed. I think it's just what happens.
Obviously.
It's good to hear your voice is really what I'm saying, and I know you've been on spaces and different things, but it's just really cool. So, yeah, but I do encourage people to face docs if they feel comfortable with it, but I totally also understand people not doing it. I think it's just if you have a message to record it with your face, it does resonate more to a degree. But also, I think it's also we don't really have, this is the thing I thought about. We don't really have. I don't think we have somebody who is face doxed who also does edits at your caliber. I don't think. I think everybody who does edits at your caliber, like the hype caliber, your caliber,
Yep.
I don't think any of y'all are face doxed, which is interesting.
Nope, none of us are.
So interesting.
I don't know why. Well, you know my reasons for not face doxing, because otherwise I really wouldn't mind, I think.
Sure.
Because there's been the problem of, well, privacy I don't really believe in, because if someone wants to dox me, he can. Like, I know there are people who, if they really want to dox me, I'm not a cybersecurity guy. Like, he probably could get info, and for anyone else, they could. So I'm not into that. I'm not showing my face because of privacy. And the more I show the face, the less dangerous it will be, per se, because there'll be so many members of SPX. Yeah. Like, you could hold like 10 SPX.
Right.
Like, nobody would know if there are enough people that dox.
Right.
Now, why editors aren't doxed, I'm not sure. I think most editors are online a lot. Like they're a major part of the personality is online, so maybe they don't feel comfortable showing their face and making content with it.
Yeah, and I think that's
weird. You're right.
I think that also kind of makes sense, because if you're face doxed, you're going to be tempted to just make fake doxed content, because honestly, it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier to just show your face and talk. But if you're if your passion is video edits, and it's a way to contribute. I mean, I think it's good. The video edits are definitely needed. It's just an interesting observation. But I know there's some people who are getting more into it who are. I think Jeffrey's taken his up a notch and really trying to get into it, and several others, and he's face docs. But y'all are in a different league for sure. But I totally get not doing it. Like I totally understand, because I didn't really want to for a long time. I don't know why I did. Why did I do it? I don't know why I initially did it. Oh wait, no, I remember now. Tans did it, and actually Tans was already, I don't know if you knew this, but Tans was already face docs before, but his account got taken over or whatever, and then it became Ghost of Tans, and then he became full Aeon, and then a lot of people didn't know he had showed his face before, and then he showed his face again. He re-face doxed it basically. And then that happened, and then Cal did it, and then I was like, okay, I'm inspired, and I just did it. I think they inspired me to do it, and I was like, fuck it, I don't care anymore. Basically, I just don't. I mean, it kind of has an impact. That was definitely the first, like April, March was the first event where people started coming out more. For a long time, it was basically Murad. That was like the face. There was no other faces really.
That was the face, yeah.
Which is insane, and now there's so many faces. It's crazy. Which I think is also very needed, but. Yeah, very good. Very good. It
is. It's the strongest thing to have people doxed. Sometimes I think about it and I'm like, I'm just, like I said, in events, IRL, I don't mind.
Sure.
I don't mind being seen IRL, but I'd rather keep everything offline. If you want to meet me IRL, sure, let's do it. But online, I'm trying to get as much as I can off internet and get as more as I can in the real world. So that's my main reason, I think. But seeing everyone's face docs, I'm like, fuck, like, I'd love to contribute as
well. Did that the stop trading and believe in something, everybody recorded that make you want to do it?
Holy fuck, yeah.
You were very tempted on that.
Oh man, I was like, fuck, like so many people are showing
that. Was wild. Okay, so
that was crazy.
So Ruben messaged me. He's like, yeah, I'm trying to get this off the ground. I really want people to do this. I think I'm making like a montage out of it or something. And I was like, okay, that sounds cool. And then I saw a couple other people do it. I'm like, oh, I'll do it. I did it. And the next thing I know, everybody did it. Yeah. So many people did it. I was like, oh, whenever Murad did it, I was like, whenever Murad did it, I sent that to Ruben. I was like, well, I guess it caught on. There you go. And then everybody did it.
That's perfect.
It's great.
Well, it's probably going to be used in the documentary as well.
Yes, it should be.
Think.
Yes,
it has to.
It has to, at least to some degree. It was so good. It was so good. Yeah, I think he's still compiling some. There's new people doing it. I think we're trying to like categorize it too. I think SPX Station Dubbing has been working on that, and several others to like make sure they're all cataloged, which is pretty cool. Do you have any final thoughts?
The future is extremely bright, and if you're an SPX holder listening to this and you haven't built something or did anything creative, please go for it. You will only regret it later if you haven't, like me. My biggest regret in SPX is not getting involved with everyone earlier. So if you're just lurking and stalking SPX, listening to this, get to know the community, interact with us. We are lovely, and you will grow a lot as a person.
Amazing. Yeah, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. We're all looking forward to Amsterdam, and I'm definitely looking forward to your documentary. I think it's gonna be cool. And for those still listening, I'll leave a link to STPC's account below if you happen to not be following him. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the channel out immensely. Until next time, persist forever.